And that's why they don't put any points on the board in the second half. Okay? They have no offense in the passing game when it comes to scoring points. That's not a lie. That's a reality. Will that get better? We'll see. Hour 2, National Football Show. It's your boy, Big Sills. Please hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. I want to say this to you guys, that we're very proud to announce that we're going to officially be a voter on the Lombardi Trophy. Not the Vince Lombardi Trophy, but the Lombardi Award to the top lineman in the country. And we're going to be on the executive committee. So we're going to be putting all that together. And I had a great conversation with those fellas. And we're going to be I'm going to give it to Will Anderson unless something different happens. He's a force, man. What a great football player. What a great game he had over the weekend, too. He's my guy. They asked me who I thought was the best defensive football player, and I went, there's a kid at Georgia who's pretty good, but the kid at Alabama is spectacular. He is just a special ball player, a special football player. So we're very, very excited to be on the executive committee of the Lombardi Award, and we'll have more details on that too. So I vote on every award now, including the Heisman Trophy. So I'm looking forward to that there too. It could be somebody potentially that the Eagles draft in next April's draft. By the way, the Saints ended up winning. We'll talk about week 5 of the schedule here in a sec, but I want to talk about Dallas. Hey, real quick on the Giants, Saquon Barkley, you know, I still want to see him, but you're talking comeback player of the year. There's no question about it. The Giants at 4-1. Hey, look, man, I'll tell you one thing that they do. They play with a lot of energy on that defensive side of the ball. There's a couple things that have now started to happen in the NFC East. I don't know if there's a lot of good offensive football teams outside the Eagles in the NFC East. I do know this. There's some pretty good defenses. Okay, I think the Giants got a good defense. That kid, Kayvon Thibodeau, looks like a real deal. He looks like the real deal for the Giants. So when you look at Kayvon Thibodeau, there's another edge rusher. Washington's going to get back, in my opinion, I think one of the better pass rushers in Chase Young. So you have Reddick in there too, and you have a bunch of people now. I don't know if Dallas has Micah Parsons. There's no question that the NFC East defensively is pretty decent. There's some pretty good defenses in the NFC East. So, outside of Washington, everybody else, in my opinion, is pretty good. Offensively, not so much. I mean, I don't really see a lot of great offenses where I'd go, oh, man, that thing right there, man, they're going to score 50 points a game. That's not going to happen. Surely the Eagles aren't going to do that either. I mean, they're not a high-scoring offense. So, I mean, especially in the second half, they're just not. Cowboy week. What about the Dallas Cowboys? Vikings are 4-1. Dominique, way to point that out. It's the only team with a record over 500 that you've played. Congratulations to you, the Vikings. Thought you guys shit on Kirk Cousins. You're averaging 30 a game? You haven't scored 30 in the last 2. What are you talking about? You do? You didn't score 30 last week. You didn't score 30 this week. You didn't score 20 this week? You're averaging 30? Okay. You have 4 passing touchdowns, Dominique. Congratulations. Prolific. What would you do if you are the Cowboys and you're Steven and Jerry Jones? What would you do? Okay. What would you do? Would you start Cooper Rush or would you put Dak? Would you put Dak back in the starting lineup? What would you do? What would you do? Who would you put in there? What would you do? If you're the Eagles, sit back and love this. Let them go back and forth and jockey. Jacob says put Dak in. Really? Cooper Rush is 5-0, and he's on a hot streak. Get this, if they put Dak in there, I think the Eagles kill that team. I think they kill them. I think they killed the Cowboys on Sunday night. I think they kill him. I think there'll be a shitload of 3-and-outs just because the guy's got to be rusty. He's been out a month. If you guys are telling me that Deshaun Watson is going to be like rusty when he gets back on the field, look at Dak. Dak wasn't really playing prolific football when he went down. He's 4-0 this season, 5-0 overall as a starter because last year he won against the Vikings. N91, I'll clarify. He's 5-0 as a starting quarterback with the Cowboys. 4-0 this year. Fair enough. My God. And I know it's like preschool where sometimes you have to exactly say what you need to know because you guys, you don't really follow along very well. Big Pickens says, as long as the Eagles don't turn the ball over, they win. Who cares? They paid him all that money. Put Dak back in. Fly. I think that's it there too, dude. You're paying a guy $45 million and the other guy makes $900,000. I don't know. Okay? I don't know, man. I mean, let me say this. If Dak wins and he beats the Eagles, or if Cooper Rush beats the Eagles, Dak Prescott will never get his job back. Okay? Glad you keep, thank you, Steve-O. Glad you keep the Birds fans humble. We need that. Hey, Steve-O, they're good. That's a good football team. It's a good football team going through a great journey right now. How I look at the Eagles, honestly, Steve-O, it's a really great journey. It's a really great journey they're on. And they're finding out a lot about themselves in these first 5 weeks. I think it's been great to watch. Jalen's growing. The coach is growing. You're exposing one coach on that staff. Guys are enjoying what they're doing. It's fun to watch. It is. It's fun to watch. You know what else I loved yesterday too a little bit? I didn't hit on it. How about the way DeVonta Smith got that shit hit out of him? I'll tell you one thing about that Cardinal secondary. Dude, they bring the wood. And DeVonta bounced right up. Question marks about his size, whether he could take hits. Man, I thought he was a star yesterday. He took some big hits. I mean, I thought he got zapped twice. And that kid got right up, got back in there. And get this, he didn't have alligator arms when they threw the ball back to him. And he knew he was going to get hit. The Cardinals bring the wood. That's a good hitting football team, man. That's a good hitting football team. Parsons is better than Reddick and not close. Yeah, well, that's okay. Reddick has been a factor for 2.5 games. He totally has. Okay? Got off the bus the last 2.5 games. I have to be fair when criticism. He has. I thought he played well in the Cardinal game. Again, the only problem I have is Gannon putting him out on running backs. You see him trying to cover the running backs? It was a joke. Stop that. Jeez, oh man. It was dumb looking, actually. Hurts is 1-11 against playoff teams and doesn't throw TD. He's making the offense horrible in the second half and one-dimensional the last year. Rushing only. Hey, there's some truth to that. I think they're just a little bit better than they were a year ago in throwing the ball. I wouldn't say a ton better. Well, no, I would say a lot. They're a lot better throwing the ball this year. That's not fair. But they're not getting any production out of it when it comes to putting points on the board. They're still lacking in putting points on the board in the passing game. That's not a lie. I'm not making that up. They're getting very little. As a matter of fact, they probably have less than they did a year ago out of the passing game. They're putting no points up on the board. It's because in the second half because they can't throw the ball. And when you methodically go up and down the field, you're going to have low-scoring games and low-scoring teams. And that's why they don't put any points on the board in the second half. Okay? They have no offense in the passing game when it comes to scoring points. That's not a lie. That's a reality. Will that get better? We'll see. Their offense is better because of AJ and them guys. I don't know where AJ was on Sunday, but they're better. Goedert is a weapon. He is a freaking unbelievable player. He is really good, man. Dallas Goedert is a player, man. Every time he catches that ball, getting him on the ground is a deal. It's like going after Gronk. He runs with the ball like Gronkowski. He does. I think he runs with the ball better than Travis Kelce because this guy runs over guys. You got two physical wideouts in AJ and Goedert. They'll run you over. And it's going to take more than one dude putting them on the ground. Okay? He is. Yale, he's big and he's physical. He doesn't quite have the hands that Zach Ertz has. But, I mean, Zach Ertz, though, man, as soon as he catches the ball, that's all he's looking to do is catch the ball, get on the ground, get up, and go. This guy Goddard's looking for the end. Goedert looks for the end zone. Zach doesn't. Zach Ertz is not a guy that's going to extend plays for you. Dallas Goedert, this guy's looking for the end zone. Every pass that they throw the ball to Dallas Goedert's looking to get to the end zone. I mean, he is Xander. Listen, I know how much everyone loves Travis Kelce. I'll take this dude. He's just big, man. Dude, every time he got into the secondary, it was a complete mismatch against safeties and corners. He's really good. He is. That's a really great job by Howie on him, man. He can play. Wow. Oh, man. No excuses. Be accountable. Eagles bottom of the league in passing touchdowns. Yeah, they don't score any points in their passing game. Zero, really. They have no points in the passing game. Very marginal. See, it's still one-dimensional. Everybody goes, well, he scores a lot of points running the ball. Well, that's what they were a year ago, running the ball. I thought we were trying to be better than that. Well, he's going to throw for 4,000. Well, not really what we're looking for. We're looking for points and wins, aren't we? Scoring and winning, right? I don't care those idle, empty calorie stats you guys talk to me about with Kirk Cousins all the time. That's kind of what the Eagle passing game is. They're empty calorie stats. When you don't put points on the board in your passing game, they're empty calorie stats, aren't they? That's what you told me Kirk Cousins is. Isn't it? Or are you contradicting yourselves now and talking out of both sides of your mouths? 4 passing touchdowns. And you think you have a prolific scoring passing offense. Show me where that in anywhere in history where a guy throws for 4,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. He'll have less passing touchdowns this year than he did a year ago. Shit, man. Aaron Rodgers will throw for more touchdowns this year in 1 year than Jalen will in 2. That's not a balanced offense. That's not a balanced offense. The passing. So do you think how about this? Do you think the passing game for the Eagles has improved? Do you? 5th in the league in scoring. Yeah, because you run the ball. Do you think your passing game, really, if you didn't have Jalen running the ball, you'd have no points. You'd have no points. You'd have 4 touchdown passes, and that's it. You're lucky he runs the ball. You're lucky. Your passing game has improved. Okay, I think it has too, Q. But you're still not getting any offense out of it in the end zone. And you still don't have scoring passing offense. I don't know how many times I have to say this without some of you going, you're right, Sills. Look at the numbers. You have no scoring offense through your passing game. Is that true or false? Is that true or false? Not all red zone, big deals. He's got 4 TDs, whether it's red zone or in the middle of the field. Joaquin goes, it's false. How is it false? You're not scoring touchdowns in the passing game, dude. How is that false? There's a guy who threw for 4 touchdown passes in one game on Sunday. The reason that I'm bringing this up, I thought we were trying to get to balanced scoring here. I thought we were trying to get to being balanced. That football game yesterday was won on the ground solely. Solely on the ground. When the Eagles got in trouble, they went back to what they do, which is okay. Then you had a D coordinator opening up the zones again. Dude, that is not a remedy for championship football. You can't score in the passing game, and your DC opens up the zone passing lanes. Does that not look like last year? That game was a prime example of one of those games that you played last year. Soft-ass zones, no scoring offense in your passing game. You resorted to your running game. That's how you won. That's exactly what that was. It was a 2021 offensive attack. You had to because, like I said, the injuries that were involved in the offensive line, it wobbled the game plan, so they had to do that. Okay? It is, Jacob. It's a waste of an argument. I'm going to end it because the people's logic are stupid because they just can't see the trees through the forest here. Too many wide receiver screens yesterday. Fourth, the reason they had to do that was because, in my opinion, because of the injuries in the O-line. That's one of the reasons why I think that they had to go to that short passing game.